Yo, what's up, guys? Back at you with another video. On today, I am TA of the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into our video installment. Now, the offseason is an opportunity for a lot of teams to get better. And if you're the Detroit Lions, you know that you got to get better defensively. And you know that there's a few names out there and a few solid linebackers that you can add to this team that'll make this team better. Now, you got guys like Bobby Wagner, who just was released by the LA Rams. You also got free agents like a TJ Edwards on the Eagles, who you possibly could go out there. And then you also have a guy in Lavonte David, who you can go out there in free agency. Now, I don't know how the Lions plan on doing this. Maybe they plan on doing it via draft. Maybe they want to double up and get two linebackers, or maybe they just want to draft one linebacker and go out and get a free agent linebacker. But there's a lot of solid linebackers that you can get in the draft, and definitely Lavonte David is one of those guys that you would want to put on your board in free agency as a guy that you want to bring in. He's a solid linebacker. He'll be going into his 12th season, pretty much 9 seasons that he's been playing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, over 100+ tackles. David is a solid linebacker that Detroit could use in a short-term rental situation. They don't have to keep him forever. They can just bring him in and allow him to be able to get this young core linebackers ready to go. Guys like Malcolm Rodriguez and Derek Barnes, who we pretty much feel like Derek Barnes should be ready to take that next level because he'll be going in, I think, year 3. And I think with Malcolm Rodriguez, it'll be year 2. So basically, man, you can bring in a guy like Lavonte David, who could be a mentor with his play. He can be display that leadership with his play. He can rub off on these guys and show these guys how to, be that championship type of team, because he did win a championship with Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So you got to be able to find out and figure out a way where you can bring in some talent. Like I said, the Detroit Lions have to bring in premium talent. If this team wants to be better, you got to go out and get blue chip type of talent, whether it be in free agency or whether it be in a draft. You got to get guys on your team that can play and guys that can rub off on other guys. And I definitely think that Lavonte David is one of those linebackers in a short-term situation. Maybe you want to sign him on a 2 or 3 year deal. Maybe if you go with a 2-year deal, you sign him for what, maybe anywhere between 20 to 24 million, something like that. Or you just give him, anywhere between 20 and 24 million, something like that. Maybe if you give him a 3-year deal, you give him a 3-year deal worth 25 or 30 million, something like that. Something in the lines of that. I don't know what the Lions will do ultimately with the linebacking situation, because they could just bring back Alex Anzalone, and it could be cheaper for them just to bring him back. Now, I definitely think that Alex Anzalone stepped up his game and had a solid season for the Detroit Lions, especially when it comes to tackles. He had a lot of tackles last season, but still, if you can go out and get players that'll upgrade the defense, because normally when you're bringing back the same players and you know that your defense wasn't all that great, it really doesn't really help the team that much to bring back the same guys that had like the last place defense. You want to bring in and intertwine some new guys sometimes on the roster to be able to help. Now, I'm not saying that the Lions can't bring back Alex Anzalone back to the team, because they could. They could find a team-friendly deal for him to be able to come back. But I think that the Lions should have it in their mind that they're out there trying to make the postseason next year. They're trying to win the division title. The Lions have not won the NFC North since the North has been started. Every other team has won it. The Vikings have won it, the Bears have won it, and the Packers have dominated it. So you want to get that opportunity, if you a Detroit Lions fan, to be able to have some talent on your roster, and you want to be able to root for some guys in free agency to be able to come to your team and to help the team out. Getting guys like a Bobby Wagner, getting guys like a Lavonte David, getting a TJ Edwards on this team. Now, you definitely could go out to TJ Edwards because he's very young, and that might just be the way Detroit wants to go. I don't know if Detroit wants to go with the older linebacker and a Bobby Wagner, who's 32, will be 33, and Lavonte David, who is 33. But both of these guys are solid linebackers. Lavonte David Definitely is a solid linebacker. He's been a great player for the Buccaneers. And if you can bring him in and get him on a decent deal, why not bring him in on a short-term rental and have him be that guy that can help mentor guys like Malcolm Rodriguez and Derek Barnes to propel these guys to play at an all-time high level. Because let's face it, guys, the defense is going to have to get better. If the Lions want to make noise in 2023, this defense has to be able to stop people. You're going to have to be able to stop the run, and you're going to have to be able to contain these tight ends, which the Lions have had problems with. You know, normally we don't really have a linebacker that can cover guys. That's what the Lions need to be doing. You know, if it's even if it's the draft and you have to go off the guys like Drew Sanders, or you have to go out to guys like Jack Campbell, or guys that just can cover, period, at the linebacker position, that's something that you're going to have to do. But what I'm saying is, basically, the Lions are going to have to get better at the linebacker position. We need to get better, and we need to get an upgrade with the linebackers. We just can't keep having mediocre linebackers. We got to have guys that when you face the Detroit Lions, you're looking for number 54. You're looking for, you know what I'm saying, you're looking for a Bobby Wagner, or you're looking for a Lavonte David. You know what I'm saying? Where's these guys? Because I know that, you know, most of the league, they know that Lavonte David and Bobby Wagner can ball out, especially Bobby Wagner, who's pretty much going to be a Hall of Fame linebacker. And both of them, man, to me, makes sense for the Lions to give these guys a phone call. You know, whether or not Brad Holmes is feeling the same way, we don't really know until free agency hits on March the 7th. But definitely, man, I'll be giving these guys a call. Lavonte David, if I'm the GM, I'm giving a call to Lavonte David. I'm giving a call to Bobby Wagner, see if those guys are interested in coming on to the team in a short-term situation. I know I'm probably not going to have these guys forever, but in a short term, maybe a 3-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal, whatever it may be, to be able to get these guys to come in and help upgrade the linebacking core. That's what I feel like the Lions need. They need a facelift to the linebacking core. So if the Lions decide to bring back Alex Anzalone, it's cool. I'm not going to complain about it or anything like that. But I'm just saying, you're bringing back all the pieces that was the defense was not so great last year. Even though guys played well as individual parts on the team, it takes a team to win football games. So I just think that the Lions got to upgrade the linebacking core. They have to, man. Whether it be through the draft or whether they do it through free agency, Brad Holmes has to really invest in this linebacking core. Now, I'm not saying that that's the most important thing, because you got to have the big guys up front too, and you do need another defensive tackle. You're going to need another guy that can come out and ball out and get pressure and put pressure on the quarterback on Sundays too. So if that's going up and moving up and grabbing a Jalen Carter, you do whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? If you got to go up and grab a Will Anderson, whatever you got to do to make this team scary on defense, you got to do it. The Lions need, and I repeat this again to you, the Lions need to have premium talent on the defensive side of the ball. The offensive side of the ball, they got a lot of talent. They got guys like Jameson Williams. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then if the Lions decide to bring back Jamal Williams, okay, cool. I understand that situation too. He's a fan favorite. A lot of people love Jamal Williams, but at the same time, you have to draft a running back. You got to think about the future. When you're always dealing with the draft, you need to be thinking about the future as well. Don't stay in the here and now, but think about the future. Think about the future at these positions, because you want to be able to make some noise in 2023, and you want to let people know that you're coming. And I want to see the Lions come. I don't want to see just speculation on what the Lions could do. I want to see this team win, man. And I know you want to see them win too. So like I said before, the Lions are going to have to make some calls to a Lavonte David, and they're going to have to make some calls to maybe a Bobby Wagner or whoever to get this defense to where it needs to be in 2023. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'm out, and I'll be back to you with another video. Peace.